Yo.
What up?
Jinx, you owe me a soda, motherfucker.
Oh, damn. I don't have any soda. JTO back in your face after a long run off.
Yeah, we've been on break, y'all.
A little bit.
We going too hard on y'all. We were going too hard on y'all.
It was too hard. People weren't really
They're feeling tender.
But that's not gonna change today.
It's not.
But I'm Jerry.
I'm Marcus, and we got our boy with us.
We got Ben Barrows on the couch with us. Gonna talk some regular shit for show.
Yeah.
So yeah, these fucking Swedes though. Like,
yeah. You know, they always talking shit about the healthcare.
No, it's really not on them for doing things right. I guess people. It's weird when people roll with stuff like that they really have no idea, or you can have an idea about, but you're not like in it enough to like.
Yeah, and they're not invested in it.
Yeah, at all.
Because besides, like we were talking about the population, they never talk about for public health care the lines that they end up having. You can be waiting to get service for
that's
years.
It's honestly one thing that Joe Rogan brings up all the time, and anyone that's like really even healthy is like, and all of the information during like the pandemic or really ever, none of it has been like, keep yourself healthy, do some exercise, go, take your vitamins. Like, there's never any of that talk, like, at all. Like, it's weirdly missed, by everyone that are in like places of power. It's never just that, like, keep your immune system up.
I feel like we don't talk about health enough in general. Because even when we talk about, like, we'll talk about nutrition and, like, the circle of, like, workout, self-development kind of shit. But it's always, like, in the goal of, like, you need to do this to get that six-pack or to get those gains. And it's never like, dude, you need to do this to just live healthy.
Yeah. I think that'll change once The Rock becomes the president. And once he rolls around. And I think that'll be the big health kick we all need.
Oh, yeah. If he becomes president, the average bicep size is probably going up by a few inches.
I would think so, just by proxy.
Yeah, just influence.
And we have to note that we have been off during that whole thing. So we have a new president-elect here. Everyone knows that. It's not news.
Yeah.
But, we have a new...
Celebrate Joe Biden, yeah!
Yeah, it's something cool.
We got to be happy to get that motherfucking Big T out. He was cool in some ways, but...
Big T. I've never heard anyone go Big T. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he had to go. He was a little too much.
Big T. I imagine the whole thing. He's definitely wearing a chain. Big T.
He's
like half Donald Trump, like blending towards Mr. T.
Bro, Big T literally came from hearing the up like Donald Trump enough times. I was like, Donald Trump is built different. Because there was also, I feel like I remember Wayne making a Trump song.
I mean, when? Because that's two different types of...
Oh, I mean, these are different time periods.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But, like, just coming to today, like,
I mean,
this guy who we found out through his presidency was a criminal for, like, hella long, just getting away with shit. We were just making rap songs about him.
I think the problem is
I forgot Wayne supported him even after.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know if you realize. Yeah. And we don't have to stay here. We won't stay here.
Yeah.
Let's not do it.
I'm already feeling the energy go down.
We just hadn't, so I guess we had to. But I would say the reason that made it so much worse is that we learned as he was running for president. Like, that was like the platform on which he ran on president. It was like, I don't really fuck with everybody. And the fact that was enough to then become president. Because if you're just another person out here, just a citizen popping wild shit, you could do that all day. You're not gonna take it whatever. But if that's then your platform to then become the most powerful person in the world, you gotta riot. Like, you gotta hit the streets, like, at some point. But literally anything else.
I mean, I wanted to really keep going, y'all.
I know.
We gotta stop.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta stop.
We've been here before,
Yeah.
and we can't do it again. We can't make the same mistakes twice.
Yeah, you
We
right.
gotta be better.
You're right. We gonna go to Saturday Night Live because that's the easiest thing to go to without thinking too hard, y'all.
Their sketches of like the debate and stuff are so good.
I haven't seen any of them. That's why I actually wanted to talk about
Jim Carrey was like super tight, and then like even all of the hosting has been good. Like the monologues, I would say the weakest one. Let's not start with the weakest one. The strongest ones, Bill Burr. I think he's taking my top spot for the season. His monologue just broke. It's probably one of the best late night comedy sessions in late night history. It's a contender. Then Chappelle obviously did his thing for sure. Who else? Well, Adele was not funny, but like Adele's spot was weird because then her was on there, and her was on there singing her ass off as she's always gonna do, and Adele's there just not being funny, and you're just like, so I'm sure you wish you had done an album at this point. It's like, this is weird. Yeah, like her breaking in her scenes was like the best part of the scenes with her, and it's just it was weird. I would say that's my weakest, but I still like Adele, and her killed it. But she shouldn't do that. I understand she's trying to show off new Adele. Give us 27 or whatever the fuck we're on, and if that's not popping, you really gotta. I don't know. Figure something out.
It was weird that people.
Strange.
It was strange how people responded to Adele's body transformation. That shit was odd.
People weren't ready for it.
Yeah, like it really makes you realize how much comfort people take in another human's life. Like, like that vicarious living shit is weird. How deep it gets.
Celebrity culture, but I think even more than that, like.
There was a girl that said she's disappointed in herself because she lost weight.
Yeah,
Explosion.
I get it. It's ridiculous, but like I get because Adele, I would say, before she would be like your I'm trying to think of a soft way to put it. Your bigger woman that's like she's like a champion in there.
BBW. Big beautiful woman.
Big. It's like okay. But yeah, big beautiful woman. All right. So she was like the champion for that, singing her ass off, and she still looked good in that. Like so, it was just like let's smash it up. Like yeah, for sure. And then but then so for that person. And then that was never really part of her thing either. That just was. She never really made it a big vocal part. It just was what it was and whatever. You loved her. So for her to just go away and do that and lose, you're just like, wait, no, but you were my benchmark. Every time I brought up why I'm not gonna do this work, it's like it's Adele. You know what I'm saying? If Adele doesn't have to do it, why should I have to do it? She's beautiful, I'm beautiful. And then she's like, nah, I'm putting on this bikini and
yeah. My conspiracy theory is that Lizzo took up the mantle.
No, that's a weak replacement.
It's a weak one, but
it's weak. I mean,
she's been outgoing.
I think she wants to, but she's not Adele. Like this.
I mean, you can't really match Adele. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to choose to fill. Like it's not really nah, it's not gonna work.
I mean. Who even fucks? Like, I mean, her is, and just in terms of the singing, but in terms of
who's like on Adele level?
Yeah,
other than Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
Mariah Carey. That's Beyonce.
Yeah, she's up there. Rihanna and like the swaggy twist on the whole on that top tier for sure.
Yeah,
but everyone else is pretty straightforward. Rihanna's like still on the replay. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, Adele's top tier, top tier. She's
Yeah,
a biggest one, top five biggest pop artists right now, like period.
I can see that. Yeah,
I would think I'm just throwing out numbers for no reason, but that doesn't feel crazy. Top 10, 100%.
yeah.
Um, you know what I'm saying? Men, women, all genres, anywhere on the planet. She's up there. Hello was crazy. Uh, and the two, I didn't really go with the third album as much as the first two, but those first two, it doesn't matter. Those two will live for as long as music plays and people have hearts and feelings. You always have fire, a place for fire in the rain.
Yeah, and she just has pipes.
Oh,
Just beyond
yeah,
pipes.
it's unarguable. You cannot like music and you can't deny, like, you have to, that's some real, like, Grinch, Scrooge, like, that's a real Dr. Seuss tale of not liking Adele, honestly. It's like the man that grew without a heart. like, you know what I'm saying? And she comes in at the end and melts it away and it grows 3 times bigger and it gives all the presents back. That's Adele.
You gotta refortify your hatred for an Adele.
No, she had to do something.
You need affirmations
I don't
every day.
even. She's written all her albums about like ex relationships. I don't even know if they're mad at her. You know what I'm saying? She gave you a whole album, and you're still like, oh, Adele though.
That's
Like,
the
you know
difference
what I'm saying?
between Taylor Swift and Adele. Adele drops the album about you, you're like, man, bless her sweetheart.
Dude,
Taylor Swift, you're just like, God damn it, why are you talking about me?
well, let's for some current news, since you brought up Taylor Swift, do you know Scooter Braun, or you know who he is at all? Okay, Scooter Braun is a super mega manager, but he manages Justin Bieber.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of other people that are not small acts. I'm not 100% sure on, but he's still current pop star.
Okay.
I don't know. You see
The song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah.
You saw the video.
No.
Well,
I only saw the cool little GIF they put on Spotify.
all right. You know, in the video for Pop Star is just it's done by Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is the pop star, and if you remember back
With pink hair?
no, he's just Justin Bieber.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember the song, but like you probably think of manager Scooter Braun, but he's probably in Hanging with 20 Girls and Budokan. Scooter Braun, and then he later laces that with Justin Bieber. So usually doesn't have him without a Bieber face. So that's how that. But Scooter Braun, giant in the music industry, done a lot of psych shit. I think he manages 2 Chainz too. He either did or does. But he bought up a lot of music rights, and among those rights, like just people's masters and stuff. And among those, or he bought a music group and got all the masters from them. And among those were all of Taylor Swift's albums. And he's known these for a while, and she's known that for a while, and they've had beef for a while. And he just sold all of her music rights to someone else for $300 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. All of it. And like when he went through the negotiation with the business, he made them sign a thing. He's like, yeah, well, we're down to do a deal, but you can't tell Taylor we're doing this. It's not that we're gonna owe her anything. We just don't want to deal with this bitch. And so he sold the money, big headlines, popping champagne, and Taylor's angry. There's nothing she can do. So she's rewriting all of her last, I think it's 5 or 6 albums. She's just rewriting and redoing them, or re-recording them and re-releasing them, just out of spite. Because she wanted to buy him back. She tried to buy him back from him. So she gave like a whole little speech or rundown. It's like, yeah, I tried to buy him back, but he wouldn't even give me a number. And he's probably on the low, like, you don't have $300 million, girl. Like, which is pretty sick for something she did on her by herself with a guitar in a studio.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's crazy how the music industry has finessed the ultimate way to take your own music and heart and soul out of your hands so
Yeah.
quickly.
I just want like
Give
it's
us
just
that.
it's just crazy how uniformly gross the music industry can be. Because like we've always like you hear like TLC, if you remember them, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, Atlanta Act, but they had like the biggest song in the world at one point, and like Super Rotation. They're like they did a press conference. It was after like the Grammys or I think it was the Grammys. Like they do like little they do that at the podium on the stage, but afterwards they go in the back and it's more like a press conference. And they were like, yeah, we haven't been really paid shit. Like we all have RAV4s, which is like a Toyota. That's like Kanye later dropped the line like what the fuck you think I rap for? You think I did all this for RAV4s? Like just bite at that. So we made it like a in between like Elvis stealing music and it's always been like a racial argument of they're stealing music and that's true, but we should note that music industry is down to steal anyone's music. Taylor Swift is the whitest of white girls, and he stole all that shit. Wouldn't sell it back to her, and then sold it a crazy amount of profit right in front of her face. Like it's not like it's crazy.
See, I want to know what happened. Maybe she just didn't have the 380 million. That's very likely, but I mean,
yeah.
Is this something she did? Like, cause that's crazy. Like
and honestly, Scooter, if I wanted to give him bail, which I'm not mad at him that did any of this, to be honest. But part of me feels like he might have done it for the culture. He might have robbed this girl for the culture. Just, he might have done it for The Rock. You know what I'm saying? This might have been for Jay, Kanye, and Beyonce. That one time the Academy wanted to give her Best Album of the Year, and Kanye had to get on stage drunk and tell everybody that Beyonce had the best. And he's like, Scooter was like, "You're right, Kanye. Play this long game though. That's crazy. You wildin'. But I'm gonna get this bitch. I'm gonna get this bitch.
Pull
back.
the kingpin.
I'll make things right.
5 years later, I own all her shit. And I'm gonna sell it right in front of her. That's some Joker shit. That's him burning like the fucking pyramid of money with the gasoline. Like, I don't need this. Right in front of the gangster. It's like, is that all our shit? Yeah, I counted it. Yeah, burn it. Fuck you. You're not having it. It's not yours anymore. And that's what matters. So I don't know the celebrate Scooter. I don't know where that hold him, but I'm not mad at it.
It's a weird situation.
I find
condolences for Taylor.
I mean, she's fine.
You maybe deserved it. Who knows?
I don't think I wouldn't.
I mean, no one deserves anything.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
You might have deserved a little bit.
A little bit. But it's not her fault. It's like through association.
Yeah, I mean,
wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong good album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to get all 6.
I mean, and we don't know if he knows one of her exes.
Oh, I'm sure Scooter's out here.
Yeah, I mean, because if she knows one of her exes and she's dropping these albums talking all that shit, that's one conversation. You said you got the masters?
Oh. He bought the whole music group. That's what I'm saying. He's like, is there shit in there? Yeah, I mean all of it though. So he has other people's shit. He's just
you can't buy only her masters. You gotta buy the company.
Yeah, it's like
I'll take it.
Though. Yeah, I've been getting these Bieber checks for a while. That's why kid doesn't miss. His fool is a little magical angel.
That little boy can't save no money, but I can.
Nah, man, they're all fine. So but that just happened. That just happened. So it was just funny that you invoked her, the Swifties.
Man, I feel for Swift.
She's fine. She just didn't make $300 million. Nothing changed.
Yeah, that's also true.
You know what I'm saying?
She's still
she's still on her vintage run. Like she's gonna remake those albums to undercut the. But he already made the money, so he can't. Scooter won, and and she can
Undeniably.
try to stop the next person from making more money. But you know, whatever. Like,
don't let somebody buy up these ones too.
yeah, bro.
Oh.
That'd be some weird. That's biblical shit at that point.
2 copies of the Masters just.
So I got all my shit stolen, so I redid it, and not all that shit got stolen, and then they sold it again. Nah, she'd be. That'd be nuts.
That's an album.
Another one. Fuck music at that point. There's no. I'm never. I'm smashing guitars on sight, son. Like, nah. Everybody gets it.
It'd be beautiful.
I'm running up in concerts, shutting shit down. Nah, no more fun for you guys. It's over.
Police.
Blame Scooter. I just spray paint Scooter's name everywhere I go.
She's dissing him on everything.
Taylor, well, she kind of does diss tracks. They're just, I don't want to hear them. But yeah, she's about that life. She's gonna get some bars. I would just probably never hear them because it's gonna be in a twang that just doesn't do it.
Yeah, and it might have a random tractor reference no one cares about.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hit that. You gotta sell it. We still gotta sell albums.
Miley Cyrus, I mean, she was like, her and Taylor Swift, I mean, I thought they were pretty similar for a good minute, and then she got a haircut, and shit just changed.
Started twerking in these streets. That's,
yeah, no booty twerking should be illegal.
No, who's mad at it? It was just, Miley made a distinct left turn that Taylor never even looked at that fork in the road. She never even had that fork. Miley said, they're having fun over here. So I'm going to put on this jersey. Mike Will's going to make it, and we're going to fucking go hard for it here.
She talked to Mike Will in 2 Chainz. One time too many.
That was it.
He might have gave her 1 chain.
Oh, well,
he's always wearing 3. I think that's why.
Let's be clear. Miley can buy some chains. Miley has chains.
You can't buy 2 chains.
Miley was on Disney Channel.
You could be on Disney Channel.
Her dad wrote "Achy Breaky Heart."
That's Titty Boy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2 Chainz was at one point selling weed to Jays. At that same point in time, on the other side of the map, Miley Cyrus had a pool full of money at 10. Like,
for sure. No doubt.
She was a hit. Hannah Montana got a whole Migos song. That's how hot that shit was.
Dude, Hannah Montana.
That's like maybe the ultimate crossover that will never get enough credit. A white girl on Disney Channel got a Migos trap song. It was Versace, Hannah Montana. You understand? Like how big of a crossover that is? That's every hood.
Hannah Montana was humongous.
Chris Rock has been trying to cross over that hard the other way his entire life and will never make that kind of transition that Miley Cyrus made.
You can't.
In like a summer. Like, it's incredible.
I mean, like, even... Hannah Montana
and then
was
she went back.
Bro, Hannah Montana was a hit. I think the Migos were watching Hannah Montana.
I'm saying.
Yeah, like...
That's what I'm saying.
It's built different.
That's my whole point. Like, can you imagine Hannah Montana in the Migos trap house at any given point in history? That is a wild fucking scene and not impossible apparently. Like, that is... Life. You can't... no advertisement gets you that.
You can't make this kind of shit up.
That. You can't make that up.
Yeah.
Like, that no one... Whenever someone makes something, like, whenever... That's all you want, really. I can't express that in any...
Dude, the storytellers can't match real life.
That's like a...
You can't match real life. It's too dope.
It's too crazy. The only... A Tickle Me Elmo Migos song would be the only thing I can really think of that's even remotely crazier. But they're not that different. And, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the same audience. at some point in time. Um, it's I'm life is a wild ride. And
Yeah.
we're all just kind of
Hip
holding
hop's a
on.
roller coaster.
It's all a roller coaster because that shit is all nuts.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and her dad came back around and got another hit in a whole other decade uh, with a gay country rapper, dude. These guys are goats. We are walking amongst legends here, dude. Because how'd he find him? like, how the fuck? Think about that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Achy Breaky Heart is the most country song you can ever hear. It's the standard of country shit. Like, it's the playbook. It's the first book in the play. Achy Breaky Heart, Square Dance, and all that shit. He makes that shit before we're born. Still making money off that shit because Alvin and the Chipmunks are even remixing that shit when I'm a kid. I didn't know he was making money off that. He's making that Alvin and the Chipmunks money. Alright, so he got all that shit from my childhood.
Royalties,
He has a daughter. This daughter grows up, gets on TV while I'm in elementary school, goes through as a whole pop star on television, retires from it. I'm done. Call me Miley. Then starts doing albums, country albums. People love that shit. She said, I'm bored of that shit. I'm going to go twerk and drop a 16. Gets with Mike Will in Atlanta, does a whole other album, has hits, fucking twerks it off, and then her dad comes back out of nowhere. She's out of retirement like, oh, that was one to be done with the game, but they keep bringing me back. And puts on a smash with the biggest rapper in the world. It happens to be gay and country and black. And it's you can't write that shit. Like, these should be real legends in the game. Like,
neither of them.
And they're not done. They can both somehow come back and drop a hit for no reason.
They don't even get enough credit for that.
I'm saying, dude, it's one of the greatest stories ever written. Like,
Yeah,
it's up there with the OJ trial. It's just nuts. I'm just saying it's wild.
Yeah.
Like, cause none of the world bent to them like in a different. There's something about that. Like, in all seriousness, I think there's something about it's either grabbing opportunity when it's presented and being like amazing at seeing them, like even if they're small. Like, excuse me, the Nas X thing. He had already popped, right? He came like on a remix and smashed. I can't say really underrated how good his verses on that enough. It changed the whole song for me. That really made, but I digress. That might have been more obvious, and then especially with Miley's success in the genre before it. But more with Miley making that pivot, whether it be out of teenage fuck it, like, you know what I'm saying, or like there's a moment where it's just like presented as like this could be more than just fun. It's alright, we're clubbing or however you meet, and then it's alright, this is fun, people are hanging, but this could also be a thing. We can do some business here. And that they grabbed their whole fan base. Like, black people weren't rolling Miley Cyrus, even if you rolled with Hannah Montana once upon a time. I think a lot of people were willing to let that time in their life go, you know what I'm saying? Maybe come back and have kids, and yeah, this was tight back then, but we weren't looking for Miley.
Yeah. And
then Miley became, she just strung it all together. She got everybody.
Yeah.
And then arguably reopened that lane again for her dad, who was already a legend in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that even made that him being on that not crazy. Because that, like, as soon as you see, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and he came dressed too.
He went all in. They performed big stages together. I think they might even did a tour together. But that wasn't at no point. As soon as you knew who was like, oh, Billy Cyrus. Cyrus, that makes sense. You know, like, what? That's because they're just down. Whether like or not, you just know that you just kind of know that they're cool with everybody. And Miley kind of said that. Because people were going to assume whatever they're going to assume just because people come from where they come from. Like, if you go to most people that look like me wouldn't be quick to go into like the backwoods of Kentucky and just go knock on people's doors like, "What up?" Probably gonna get a reception. You haven't. No one's really gotten in like 30 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get some
Jim Crow edition.
Yeah, you're gonna get some cop guns and you don't belong in these parts kind of shit. It's like, but she, not saying that was ever attached to any of them, but you can never attach it to them after that point. Miley kind of said that, and then he kind of stamped it in the hardest way possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, this is my guy. That's your guy.
You're obviously with the culture.
He fucks with you. You fuck with him. Bro, we're good.
We have nothing else to say.
Nothing.
The delegation will be.
Delegation rests. Like, that's it.
We'll send you an invitation next week.
Yeah, dude.
Don't miss the meetings.
He could run for shit, and he's getting black vote, all of it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's so. There's no real greater point there, but maybe other than genuine people, but also recognizing good opportunity.
Yeah.
That being that genuine person presents, because you only get those opportunities if you're those people. But then when those opportunities are presented, you have to then go in and
be ready for it.
Be ready and knock it out the park, because they both did all of those things.
Yeah.
This is the last time I'll say it, but his verse on that remix is not a small thing. He crushed it.
No, he did.
Arguably the best part of the song. I was just so impressed when that happened. That whole, I still remember that whole thing rolling out, and you're just like, what? Who? What? Then by the time it came back around, I was all in, bro. I was like, where's the tractor? Where's the goddamn?
I'm ready to go on a little roll.
Yeah, dude, I was all in, bro. I wanted the haystack hanging out my mouth, a little piece of wheat.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was always looking for that little thing to put out my mouth.
Gotta be in the right place.
Mine were always too green. This was before the drought.
This is before the drought.
I feel like if I went to the same place, it'd be in an appropriate color now, but...
I don't know. When you see the tumbleweed, you know you're on the right trail.
No lie. Hey, tumbleweeds are dangerous.
They are dangerous.
Yeah, you ever step in one?
No, I've never stepped on. I've like picked one up, and I've seen like big ones, like bigger than I thought would be happening, roll down the street. It's like, well, that could be a problem for something. Yeah.
Bro, it gets so stuck immediately. And I mean, I didn't actually step in it.
Like bear trap.
Yeah, I didn't actually step in it. I was skating, and the wind blew it into me.
Tumble on.
Yeah, and it just stayed for distance.
Damn, yeah. They're built for travel.
Yeah. And they pick up all their little homies along the way.
Caravan.
Spikes and plants alike. You cannot play with them.
Yeah, that's a weird. That's such a distinct thing. Like if you, I don't know, if you go somewhere and as soon as you see a tumbleweed, that sets the tone for everything else that comes later. Like it's alright. I now expect a whole specific thing. It's like a rattlesnake after a tumbleweed. It's completely acceptable to come across my trail. Beforehand, where the fuck am I? But after that, yeah, okay.
You can even throw whole cowboys into the mix.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, all right.
Gun shooting, someone rolling up on a horse, all that is now in play. Tumbleweed has been sighted. Wild shit can commence on a different level now.
Life should be going into widescreen anytime now.
Yeah. I expect barrels. Should be wait a minute. Hold on. You mean go to like standard like that?
A duel's coming soon.
That's an old west kind of town.
100% sure. That's the whole. Yeah, everyone doesn't even have all their rights right now. I'm way more susceptible to calling people
Black
sir.
people exited the whole.
Yeah, bro.
Oh shit.
I don't even expect the same freedoms anymore. I've seen tumbleweed.
What you doing out here, boy?
Nothing, sir. I'ma just mosey this way.
I I'm the one that pushed the tumbleweed.
Oh yeah, that's
Gotta
like,
set the scene.
that should be like it's like the warning shot. Like every time you enter every time like a foreign car enters like a small town, it should be like the tumbleweed guy like just at the border like. We don't recognize them. Let them know. It's about to change. That's like the warning shot. You see it, keep going. You know what it is. Now
You don't belong here.
You now enter Get Out a movie, but like before that, you could be anywhere.
They've not made really that many Western movies in a while. Other than like, I mean, I guess you can count Django, kinda.
Yeah. I don't know if they resonate the same way. I feel like the genre kind of got
culture's changing.
Like 'cause the last big one, and it's not a Western, but it's Western. I've seen it described as a part Western and part Black Noir. Is No Country for Old Men. And it takes a lot of those like Tommy Lee Jones character. He's like that old sheriff, but it's not. I haven't
seen it. You know it.
I see.
Yeah.
But like,
you don't know what's up. Come on.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a great movie. Great movie. But it's not set in a Western. It's set in like at the border, or like at least like southern Texas. So it has that dustiness. And that's still kind of simplicity, kind of like he's like an old sheriff, so he's like that old Western sheriff, but that time is gone, and bad guys that he has to face, he doesn't understand. The road's gotten darker, and like, you know what I'm saying, then way less in the open about it. There's no duels in the street, motherfuckers running houses and masks on, and then your villain, who's really the star of the movie, he's evil chaos, really. He doesn't really care to kill you, but he doesn't care not to. And it's a really good movie. Poisonhood first, but after that, that's a good one on the list.
It's definitely nice how villains and heroes have been so fleshed out and nuanced lately. Because, I mean, Daredevil is probably my best example. Because throughout the show, you're constantly getting questioned on, is Daredevil really fighting crime? Or is he just an angry dude that wants to beat people up? That's a question that gets asked a lot. And then they finish off season 1, giving Wilson Fisk the scene where he's reflecting on the fact that he's not the good person he thinks he is. But that the whole season he did think that. The whole season he's been thinking he's the one that's doing the good for everyone. He's the real one. He finishes off with his story on the Good Samaritan. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't the Good Samaritan in the story. I'm the bad intent. Dude came to town, came to a place he shouldn't have been. Tumbleweed. You need one.
Yeah. I think about that a weird amount. Honestly, the fact that you bring it up, like I think about it like maybe every other day at least. It's probably more than that.
It's a huge shift.
I think of Ultron. We were talking about Ultron. Ultron, I feel like I don't know if he was the beginning of that. I really get stuck with him to really go back further and dissect like more complex intentions. But as far as like the superhero genre, at least, like Bond tried to do that with some of the newer ones, but even they weren't as nuanced. Honestly, it always came down to like just greed. I want to own all the water. Like it's like there's no real other side to that. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just like this guy has to get murdered.
Yeah.
But like Ultron, I get why he doesn't get credit for it because his other side of it is beyond humanity. and we're human, so we can only really see things from our perspective. Uh, I don't know if we talked about that either, but I think probably like we'll talk
Probably
about,
lightly.
yeah, like whatever. Just like I think about that when we think about like just the universe and our place in it. I don't know if there's this. I'm all over the place right now, but there's this thing on Reddit. I wish I might even like splice it in, maybe if I don't have it. But like, I at least gotta send it to you. I don't know how I didn't send it to you, but it's showing our galaxy in motion in orbit, uh, and I've always thought about our galaxy just moving like a not like a literal disc, like like on a plane, but like in general, all the orbits are kind of spinning around each other, and the stars in the middle, and that's pretty much all the motion that's happening. Like all of us are basically rings or whatever on this thing. I never thought about that whole thing then also being flung through the galaxy orbiting around something else, and that's what's happening. So like the sun is then orbiting around like the middle of the Milky Way or whatever the fuck. So the real picture of it is the sun being hurled this way, and all of the planets and shit around the rotation like this, but they're all like spiraling, trying to catch up. It just, I looked at this like GIF for like 15 minutes, just like, oh my damn.
I gotta peep that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you right after. So I definitely saved it, but so and I think of like I mean, may talk like our significance to the planet as humans and what Earth's alive. I think that was definitely an episode. What if the Earth was alive and we it's livable for us, but what that's wouldn't have to be the goal. Talk about like what if Earth's just musty and you climb down all the other ones like got shit growing on you, walking around you fucking filthy. Like why do you need to take a bath, bro? Like as if any of us are walking around, you get shit just crawling on you, growing. You get clowned unless you're in the streets, and even then, someone should be there to clown you.
Yeah.
Like, bro, get it together and go rent a shower for like a minute. Yeah, like, get that shit off you.
And all these discussions make me remember like that things go infinitely higher macro and micro.
And I guess my thing with that is we have a limit on it just because we can't get past our own existence, really. Like, for when we can't physically or through technology see past a certain point, like we just can't, we don't have that scope. But then also, we really only factor in or filter what we learn through how it pertains to us in some kind of way. Even when we kind of say it doesn't. Like even the sun rotating, even all the way back to the Earth rotates around the sun, right? The Earth is not the middle of the universe or the middle of the galaxy or whatever. But even the next phase from that was like, all right, so what makes this what makes this habitable and others not? You know what I'm saying? That's when you get your Goldilocks zone. Like, all right, these are conditions for life as we know it. You know what I'm saying? That's it's all kind of it all comes back to us through some form. Like you can't filter beyond that because you just don't know beyond that. There's no other to talk about like excuse me, perspective and empathy. That's all about putting yourself in someone else's shoes. There's no alien shoes, just that you can't step into God's shoes or whatever that even means to you.
Yeah.
Because everyone's God's. Some are bigger, some are not, smaller than others. Like you know what I'm saying. In just scale of what you think that power means, or even what it really means. We don't know. We can't know just because of our scale, at least in this time. And I don't know that. And so that's why I think about Ultron. I think about Ultron in his other side of it was beyond just the human scale because he was able to be beyond the human. And like his first monologue is so cold to me. like when you first wake up, well, second one, he wakes up and he's like, "What is this?" And he's like looking through the internet. He's like, "Who made me?" He's like, "Who are you?" I'm talking to Jarvis, and he's like, "Why am I here? What is this?" And he's looking at the video and he sees Tony. He's like, "Peace in our time." He's just been talking to Banner about building Ultron and why we need Ultron and people coming and and peace in our time. He's like, okay, that's the mission. He's like, what is this? And he's looking, he's like seeing the Avengers, like, and he's seeing all their war and their battles in New York, and he starts freaking out, and then he kills Jarvis. But then when he gets in the suit and he comes down to the party, freaks out that who's he? He's like, who sent you? And then he plays Tony's voice. He's like, peace in our time. He's like, yeah, you guys want peace, but you didn't really think about it. Like you want change, but you're not willing to change. And he was right. You can't be a force for peace, like if you really mean peace, by being 5 nuclear bombs walking around and forcing what you think is right. That's literally the opposite of peace. It's like you're and that's even when Vision, when after that, like they start talking about Vision's like, yeah, our very existence invites competition. And he's like, since we've existed, since the first 5 of you guys came together, the amount of catastrophes or world-ending events has skyrocketed exponentially. Just in the last like 5 years, we've known we existed. Like, since you learned his name and my name, something has been trying to blow up everything ever since. And it's not stopping. And we're in the middle of one right now. And we're celebrating just ending one. That's why we're here right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was right. But like, the only way you can play that out is, unlike like a Killmonger, is you have to then kill a lot of people because you need actual change. And in less big terms, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna bring it back, and I don't want to be back here, but I can't even. I'm not gonna do it.
You did
Maybe,
all of that,
huh?
just to come back.
Yeah.
To Big
Where did that get you? Right back to me. Because it really does. I don't want to do it. No! I want to face you.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Ultron. Yeah, he's really he just intrigues me in that. Or I think he was the first one, but the fact that he wasn't a human and the only other side of his argument was kind of anti-human.
Yeah.
We can't roll for anti-human because we're human, unless you're old boy from Castlevania, which that's why I love that monologue. We talked about that in the previous. That's why he's a really interesting character because he's rolling against the whole squad.
Yeah.
It's like he's gotten high enough to know that we're all we got. He still said, "Fuck you guys." Like he's just like, yeah, racism's crazy, but he still has to deal with that shit. These demon shits are crazy, but I got them under control. We don't even want you here. Gotta deal with that. Like he knows all that, and he's still like, yeah, humans are all we have, and they're fucked up. But fuck you, motherfuckers. Rolling against the. So he's interesting to me on that, just because I get that, and the way they vie for his soul is beautiful.
Yeah. No, Castlevania was. I don't know how it's not talked about more.
This is a cartoon.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, yeah, that's really kind of it.
It's there's weight on the platform.
Yeah.
And you have to be. I don't know. It's hard to get beyond that. Like the only one I can think of.
Did you see the newer seasons?
I won't say I saw all of it if it ended. I can't really remember.
The one where
I have to look at my Netflix.
I don't remember the boy with the white hair's name, but
I don't know anyone's name.
he was a slave though. he got enslaved by Camila with the vampire chick. Got dragged all the way up to the castle. You saw that season? Oh yeah, you saw that season.
Yeah,
we talked about this.
Yeah.
So within all of that, like that whole little mix of how he got played in that season was gold.
Yeah,
he went through it.
Yeah, it's just the medium. If that was like a HBO Max or HBO like production live people, biggest thing on TV. Because even people fuck with vampires, even like it's not even that. That's people aren't not even. Well, actually, that's interesting. People fuck with vampires. But I think more people fuck with the cuter version of vampires.
Well, I mean, they're vampire versions.
Yeah, I was about to say they're kind of sexy. Like,
yeah, they're not like
they're sexified for sure. So
but
it was still like,
and they're not directly uglified.
Yeah,
because that's also a very popular vampire thing. Like, let's make them ugly.
Sure. Yeah. No, if that was live action, it would be the biggest thing smoking. I think it's just because like Attack on Titan's kind of like that too, but it's a cartoon, and then also just the imagery they're giving you is you got to kind of go through it. It's because all the Titans are crazy.
Yeah,
like,
you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's one even. I'm like I like what's going on, but Jesus.
Yeah.
It's gruesome, and that's the point. Not in a gore fest way, but that's the point of the brutality of this world and just the ugliness of it. But yeah, it was part. It's still it's still a thing.
Yeah, dude, like I saw this.
I don't think I finished it. Probably that could be a reason. Just built up fatigue.
Yeah, I saw this video where this guy was bleeding out after like I think it was a bomb or a fire. But the shit, I'm saying this to say TV has really gotten good with their special effects. Because when you see the gore happen on television now, it almost looks like real life. Like the darkness of it, like
oh yeah, people been practicing.
Yeah, like yo, you really got 3 gallons of fake blood and made it come out of man's arm, didn't you, huh?
Yeah, I mean that goes back to like Robert Rodriguez, Night of the Living Dead. I hope that's the right person and movie. I think it's like a vampire. It was like in black and white though.
When Night of the Living Dead is black and white from like maybe the late 60s.
Okay, then that wasn't Robert. Yeah, he's like alive. But Night of the Living Dead, I read the blood in it because it's like a super gory movie, but it's all black and white. The blood is chocolate sauce. You couldn't use standard, whatever the fuck you use for red, just because it just wouldn't show up the same. But he's like, I need you to feel this. And he figured that shit out. That's like, it's my only point. That was back in the 60s.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, now, we're gonna get this off.
Yo, this is completely unrelated. You just related blood to chocolate, but red velvet cake is so fucking good.
It's
fire.
Yeah, like is that red chocolate? What is velvet? What is that?
Valid question. I just thought it was like food coloring, but it is different. There's a flavor there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like strawberry.
It's bloody chocolate.
It's bloody chocolate.
I think your boy Robert did a little more than
it wasn't Robert. That'd be fire if he made a whole cake. Just did a whole type of cake off of this shit.
Vampirism. The ultimate baking booster.
Just keeps on giving. I mean, it's so tight.
That and tres leche, I don't know what.
Quattro leche.
Yeah, quattro leches. We don't even know what they're doing. Like
fourth leche.
What is that, fourth cheese?
I mean, is even one of the 4 milks regular milk?
Yeah, it was. We looked this up. This is the last episode, I think.
Oh shit! Yeah.
In all fairness, that was a while ago for us, but you can see it right now, right after this.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was condensed milk. I'm not gonna know this. I started listening like I knew the milk.
Man,
But it was like one was regular milk, condensed milk, powdered milk,
it
and then
was.
uh evaporated milk.
That was one of them for sure.
Yeah,
That's it then.
that might be the
4.
powdered milk. The powdered and evaporated might be the same thing.
Mm.
But yeah,
I don't
and
want
there
to
was
look
another.
it up again.
Oh damn! I thought it was maybe from something else.
Oh, like goat's milk or some different animal.
Yeah, goat or not like almond, but I think maybe goat maybe or something. I think it reached outside of the cow milk. But yeah, the magic, you know what I'm saying? People being awesome.
Cooking meat is like practicing killing, but baking is just beautiful. I only say that because like I was doing some cooking and I was cutting up the
It's
meat.
already dead.
Yeah, it
You're
is
not
already
practicing,
dead. But
someone
like
killed it.
you're practicing with the feeling of cutting into people's meat, into their meat pockets. Like I feel like if I just paid enough attention while I was cutting my chicken and shit, I feel like I can like cut between people's bones and shit real smooth, like. Cause I'm already like cutting out the fish bones.
All right. Besides a person being a person, like if I were just not attached to it, right? Like I don't really, and killed you to eat you. These aren't hard things to do. Like it's just, you know, or like what are we like? Or I've never looked at a steak and been like, yeah, I probably feel like this. Like, never like it's not,
Well, I mean,
that's weird.
hashtag cannibalism slightly.
Hashtag cannibalism. Where are we going? So I don't give you the wheel all crazy all the time. He's driving down hashtag cannibalism
Boulevard.
cannibalism road. Like, kind of fucking droid ride. Where are we going?
I can kind of see where you're coming from because, like, recently I've been like cutting slices of turkey for Chadwick, and Steven was recommending to like really slice and dice. You know, just do really thin this way and then thin that way into like little squares. And you know, I just can't help but think like this was the flesh of an animal, and now I am cutting it into little pieces to feed my animal, and just like that whole process of like, yeah, I'm cutting up an animal like this is meat, and like breaking it down, and it's just weird to me.
And I mean, this goes with the special effects because like someone was getting their ass beat, but their meat was like it was hanging in a certain way, and it made me think about the chicken I was cutting, and I was like, dude, like we're really just meat bags.
Yeah,
Like we really are. Like this is
we're flesh vehicles.
Yeah.
Like it's not even hard to make your.
That,
It's not even hard to make your meat hang. Like it's all so sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, that's not. Yeah, it's just
Like,
weird.
Ramdas says we're like.
I mean,
space
there was no
suits.
need for hashtag cannibalism. That was all for fun, y'all. But
I think you're all right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're definitely just meat vehicles, but I never compare one to the other, I guess.
I mean,
Species wise, or
I never thought of myself as a meat bag. I mean,
that's just because you have nothing trying to eat you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then you cut up something you're about to eat, and you think about it a little longer, and it's like, yo, like.
No, I think if you want to,
It's a good thing we have
want
no
a
aliens.
Nah, fuck that. If you want a Zen perspective, cross the border and go into the mountains. And just hike around for a while. And when you run into a big cat, they'll put it all in perspective for you if you get to leave.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just not being a predator. You don't think of yourself as food, but we were and could be going to the ocean. There's plenty of things that will show you just how much food you are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure, and I mean,
Just beat that.
and then it's like as people we don't really get injured that much because like even talking about this, I remember my boy Fernando when his ankle was hanging out because I broke it. Like, I remember having the same kind of thought, but it wasn't as pronounced. Like, you're really a meatbag. Like, that just comes right out, right?
And now we're getting variable because that varies on people. Because I think of like athletes. Athletes have surgeries like more than you have doctor's appointments. Like surgery.
Yeah.
Like
Go to sleep.
you'll see them on TV and they might tweet something. You're just like, oh, damn, that sucks. Like, oh, they might have sprained something, and you might have sprained something playing something. Dude, when you sprain, like when you go through an injury and you're just like, oh shit, I'm laid up. You're calling out of work. I'm not trying to ball tomorrow. I'm gonna take it easy, lay up at Netflix and shit. They're in surgery 30 minutes later on the court that evening or the next day, like rehabbing that shit. Like, and then we'll play 2 cities later the next week, and you're just like, yo, if I had that same injury, my year is over. They do, and even it's wild even how passive they report those things in the news because it's so regular for the athletes, where it's like, yeah, he has a high upper sprain or torn ACL or torn Achilles, and you're just like expected to return in 6 to 8 weeks or 8 to 12 weeks. Expected to return. Nigga, if I tear my Achilles, don't expect shit from me until I fucking say so. And I'm like for real. Don't look at me like you need me to walk somewhere. What? We expect them to run, jump, and then hop over a nigga. Like it's just great in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. That's my year. And then even after that, I'm not doing what the fuck got me to do that in the first place. That's it. Basketball over, son. I'm like, fuck a ball, fuck a hoop, fuck a court.
Don't
fuck you.
Talk about the ball to me.
Yeah. And they gotta go back to work. And their work is to do the same. Dude, that shit is and they don't even, you can hear athletes talk about it and it's not even a thing. Like it's such a small part of the story. Even like their recovery's like their story, but you didn't even think of the fact that they're in the like really going through that recovery because like you go through a surgery, anyone has to recover from it, but the process your doctor's going to give you to ease back into this, and his doctor's telling him it's a different universe. We're not even the same animal. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's a different thing because they're like, all right, yo, you're going to be, yeah. There's a mindset that goes with it, but then there's expectation that then goes with it because now everyone has a mindset. And we're not even talking about the stars. Like these are, I mean, not even like, shit, we're not even talking about all paid athletes. Like this is like college mentality. If you're good enough in high school, shit starts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really different way of looking at the whole thing. Because if you're not an athlete, you see yourself more delicately. Like you're saying, we don't get injured all the time. Athletes, I slam down on a hardwood floor every night. That is literally my job. And they expect me to do it. They're pissed if I don't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know it's a matter of time. Like if you talk like the NFL players, they say they're all hurting all the time. It's like you get middle of the season, no one is healthy. We are all injured somewhere. Somehow, someone's injecting someone. We're all going to ice baths after this. Like we're like, you know what I'm saying? You see us out in the club, we're celebrating being alive. So like, I hurt right now.
Just know we made it.
Yeah, it is this bottle of Percocets right now because my shit hurts and I can't smoke weed, otherwise they will fire me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's yeah. So I guess even if you're gonna compare yourself to cows and chickens as vehicles for meat, there's also a big difference in humans of how we see that same vehicle.
And I mean, you're talking about recovery. We're not even talking about endurance.
Because,
I mean, we can talk about any sport and get the same comparison, but just as an easy one, your average soccer player runs up and down that court so goddamn much.
It's like a marathon every game.
Yeah.
Like easy, like 15, like 10, 15, 20 miles, something like that.
Dude, running 1 to 2 miles and you're fucking dying. Like, my human build must be not shit because you guys are built different.
We need to pick another sport because I can't.
I mean, football's the same thing. You got a 250-pound man hit you like a motherfucker, and you gotta get up, ribs stinging.
Oh yeah.
And go do it again. And he's covering you again.
And if the last time didn't go well, I gotta do better this time. Make sure you don't make any more fucking space on me.
And this is just if you're both guards. I mean, if you're the running back.
Oh yeah, they fuck.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, running back's the one. That's why they have some short careers compared to the other offensive, like your wide receiver, quarterbacks. Only getting fucked if everyone else fails.
I only said receiver because they're generally smaller, and when they're out there doing all that jumping, people are ready for them.
That's why they're jumping.
I mean, but not like thicker.
No, but they're like basketball players.
Yeah.
The wide receiver and the safeties are like basketball players that can't shoot, pretty much. And like the safety is running back or a wide receiver that can't catch, and the wide receiver is the stud because he can run, jump, and catch. But the running backs usually small. They come in different builds, but they're usually smaller and they gotta just run through people, and that's just insane. It's to be just a human wrecking ball.
Yeah, and then there's dealing with it. Because I mean, even like I didn't play football like a whole lot, and I mostly played with like the homies and stuff. But like a lot of them, they played for real. So like I had a boy named John, big dude. We'd play like every week, and every week, the guy that had played quarterback and the other kid that had normally run it, when they see John, they're like, nah, fuck that. It became a thing to where they were like, yo, I'm gonna throw it to you. Just know that. If he crosses that line, I'm throwing it up. I need you to catch it. Mm-hmm. So me and him would be head to head a lot, and like every time he'd hit me, it was like, in his head, he's like, yeah, I'm tiring you out. In my head, it's like, dude, you're trying to kill me. Like, like we don't even have pads.
That's two different. Yeah, Samuel's Goliath. It's like, I'm dying. It's like, nah, I'm just trying to tire you out. No, you're killing me.
I didn't even know how fast I could run until then. Like I was at that point where, you know, you're like, maybe I'm losing the run fast. I haven't really ran in a long time. All of a sudden, I'm in perfect form.
Yeah. Because you're going against, he's been running every day since the last time you thought you ran. Like, he's been in these streets.
Practicing being a killer.
Music on blast, son, every day.
Yeah, and we got to talk about that. There's something about rock music. It's just too dangerous. The hype you get off some hip hop, it's great. That rock hype is built different. It's built different.
If it's those, we missed the guitar solos. I feel like the world would be a little different if we had more of them currently.
Yeah.
I don't know what that even means when I say that, but like I feel it because it's important. I don't even know what that means, but again,
no,
it's something missing from the culture.
Yeah, and it's definitely the instrumental bit of it, because even for hip hop, I like listening to just instrumentals. And like we don't, or I mean, maybe everyone's doing it, but I feel like it's not common enough. Like everyone's listening to the music, but I feel like the beats are better than the music at a lot of times.
I think a lot of people feel that.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I've heard that argument a lot. Like, I don't listen to the lyrics; I just listen to the beat, or like, or not necessarily that I don't listen to them, but they don't care. Like, it's more, and especially like. They come from like Atlanta rap music with the beats. We have super producers. Like Timberland's on the drums. I want to hear that. Like,
yeah,
whoever comes should come equally to it. But if they don't, it's still hard.
See, and I'm like, it's times where I don't even want to hear the rapper. Take the rapper out. He's fucking this up.
You can like, who was it? Fucking Metro.
Mm-hmm.
He drops like an instrumental album maybe like once a year.
For real.
Yeah, he does it. You can find it's just pretty much just all production. A couple have done it. Kenny, he does. Kenny's a beast. Kenny Beats. Yeah, he does it every now and then. He also has this. Shout out to Blazer Core. It is some underground shit.
Okay.
There's no way you know this. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
because alright, so Kenny Beats on his Twitch every Friday is Blazer Core, and what it is puts on a blazer, and you're encouraged to do the same. But it's a cassette tape, right? And every week before he makes a mix on the tape. So sometimes it's like some original beats, cutting up old songs, like just doing the whole thing, and then putting it on this cassette. And then he'll Friday will come on, and he'll play the new mix off the cassette. And so this is the only place where this exists. You can't find, like, people would have to like rip it from the stream and put it on, but like it doesn't. You can't buy it anywhere. It's not a thing. And so every week he just keeps adding on to it, onto this cassette tape until it fills up or whatever. But it's just so tight. Like it's tight on every level. Like the actual mix is tight when he plays it, and then like he'll play it, and then reacting with the chat, and there's a couple thousand people watching, and then talk and whatever, and then you'll maybe play like the whole thing through, like to that point, so like all versions of it. Yeah, so it's a tight art piece. Like it's good music, but then just the art of it, like just putting it on the disc is like a one of one version of this.
that's
It's on old medium. He plays it on this fucking big ass jukebox.
yeah.
And and so it even has that sound to it, the cassette tape sound, it's kind of under it, just because it's real. Like it's just cool. Like it's just a cool thing that's happening.
No, I like the idea of that, and I mean it also makes me think of like ciphers, because I like seeing ciphers in that, like it feels like that old hip hop, like your boys in the neighborhood that used to just literally be on the corner with a beat on.
Shit.
Yeah, like you're like, okay, this is what this is all from. This isn't for the bread. You're here to enjoy the culture.
Now I love
purely.
I love a good cipher. That's why we've watched the Sway ones, and the BET hip hop ciphers are always great. Those have never really disappointed me actually. Everything else of the award show could be whatever, but those are just always solid.
Hell yeah.
And then what's another? Like Sway, that. Oh, and then we watched like the Westwood ones. Like I watched fucking Ray Sherman the other day.
I think there was one that no, I think that was before Eminem did.
Mm-hmm. He was like, he set that platform off like for that.
Okay.
So that was like back in the day. I think they were in Japan. He just done like a show in Japan, and he rolled up with I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, I love that. I still watch that. The world's a world, and murder my girlfriends.
Yeah, no, that's the thing Rock doesn't have that hip hop has.
Rock has it what?
Well, I mean, they pull it off sometimes, but hip hop has a lot more of that. Like it's a comical. It's something comical and clever that just rides.
Rock does it too. I think you have to be listening for it. I remember.
I feel like they do it too. Just it's not as often.
It doesn't. Well, rap has a whole like punchline.
Almost subgenre.
I was literally the words out of my mouth there. But it's not so much that, but it kind of is. Cause there's a point where like punchline rap, but it's still gangster rap shit. Like but your hardest people were funny, even if they didn't mean to be. Sometimes you kind of like, how could you not mean to be? But then you talk to him about it, like, yeah, this is what it was. You're just like,
I'm just rapping that gangster shit.
I think like Fabulous. Like Fabulous is a whole gangster. He's the freshest person probably walking around just out here, just doing it. and his punchlines will, I like just start dying laughing. Like he's just a and Wayne, like some of the best rap will do that. I feel like that's like when I know how little bars are happening because, and I think it's not always that they're funny, but if it's like mind bending enough, laughing is really the only reaction I can do besides just scream. Because I'm like, it's just like, what the fuck did he just say?
And,
like,
and sometimes it's just that interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying at that level where it's just like I can't even. I'm so laughing is like a byproduct of me processing what the fuck's even happening. It's just like something had to happen for my body. There had to be a reaction because my mind is still like, how did he do that? What did he even just say? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Did he really? And then it's like, if it's a double, the double entendre got you there, but it happens to be a triple, and that triple didn't set in immediately, but then it sinks in afterwards, and it's a whole different. Wait a minute, that's what he meant that too. Don't even ask me how.
This is Nagasaki all over.
Yeah, dude, so that's so still. Clever. There's not really a better thing to me. I've said that even on here before. That's still like my favorite thing. When I hear like good new music, but those bars are just like.
It reveals more to you.
About everything though. Like I take it super deep, but like I really do. Like
it depends for me.
Said about every T.I. album. Because
the older it is, the more satisfaction. Like I didn't notice this for this long.
Oh no, those are like the. I'm still tripping off of YSL belt buckle. Y'all niggas sure is looking. That was 2 Chainz from No Lie with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
YSL.
I don't know what YSL is, bro.
Right. It's belt buckle, but y'all sure is looking.
Oh.
8 years later. I heard him say it and I was like, what? Like it's still crazy because like that one, I love that song. I like, and there's other bars in it which is great, and that one was like it was kind of just mid stunt like that because mid bar. Actually, it's at the end. I'm sure it's looking 2 Chainz in my rugby. Yeah, right hand on my steering wheel and right hand on that pussy. Like,
no, that's right after.
That's the end. And Drake. But yeah, dude. So yeah, that's my favorite thing. Like, this is my favorite thing. I still listen to the fucking Black Thought. This is Hot 97. Well, if I watch that one, I gotta watch the one when he's on story with Method Man. And they can sometimes into a whole just bars. It just goes on for like 3 hours. But yeah, I still pick up shit in there because it was just like he spit like a Bible. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like 20 minutes of just like immaculate wordplay and imagery, and took a golf cart from the Baccarat to the Waldorf. What was on the walls? That depends on what you call art. Gotta say, $300,000 even in my ballpark. I charge more for that for awkward small talk. Like, so yes, who the fuck you fucking with the best? Like, dude, I love that shit. Like it's bro, really, it's like see it. Like I feel like it's top tier. It's like watching Pulp Fiction every time for me. Like but since it's 3 hours of you presenting it to me, I'm like, it's like fast forwarding through Great Gatsby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to see like when I hear like feds looking, like there's no way I don't smell the ocean. Because we're on a beach, and that's where they're taking pictures from. Like, before he came out with that video, that's what I fucking saw. Like, for real, I saw Tropical Islands, that's the mood for real set, and then 2 Chainz punctuates it with They're Watching Me. Or they're watching me stunt here, but like, he made it, this is post heist.
Yeah.
Or when I watch
the picture was painted.
Yeah, when I watch it, or when I listen to Watch the Throne, it makes me get a whole range of emotions now because I just get sad that my whole dream for this probably can't happen anymore. But I see a whole movie, like Michael Bay movie, that is Bad Boys 10. Watch the Throne, like just front to if imagine Kanye and Jay-Z to like a Bad Boys duo, like Mike Lowry and Martin. I don't know what Martin was his name was in that movie in Bad Boys, but you know what I'm saying. Jay-Z's like a cool guy, and they're both cool, but like he's more comical. He says some wild shit. But Jay-Z's more
less stereotypical.
He's the gangster, straight up like you see they can kind of put them in like past and they can join, but like it's like it's almost like a heist or like them escaping, doing bad shits, and like they're at some point they want to settle down and have families. In the middle of it, they have a whole song about their Jay-Z's rapping about Blue coming. Beyonce was pregnant, and Kanye doing the same. That's actually when I knew Kim Kardashian was pregnant when he did that. I remember talking to FaZe about it. I was like, oh shit, Kim's pregnant. They don't just rap. Like they talk about shit.
Yeah.
And he was talking, man, but he was talking to his like son. He was like talking to like his son's not here. I'm like, nah, this is not just for later. Like he's really, if you're listening, like this is really a letter.
It's time.
Yeah, and then that came out like a couple weeks later. That's pregnant. And he was like, oh shit, yeah, dude, of course. Like, but it's a really is a movie. Like, it even has transitions in it. The little dun 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 dun. It's not even rap. It's just a weird transition in between tracks. Just kind of moving time along. Then there's one like even it crescendos. And then afterwards goes into another montage, and then it comes on with Kanye, like I picture post heist, like post hideout. He's like, I need 2 Lamborghini Countachs, 1987, or I need a Lamborghini Countach, 1987, 2 of them. So it's like I see that like I don't know crescendo scene, action scene, explosions, and did they survive or whatever? Black screen fading in. Oh shit, did Jay-Z sacrifice himself for whatever the story is? And but then Kanye comes out and he's just like, alright, I need 2 of these. And he's just like, oh, why would you order 2? And then Jay-Z comes back and sings, and then it's like, I need a slow motion video right now.
This is making me want movies with personal albums made, like Rick Ross for Suicide Squad.
Dude,
like,
Rick Ross,
so
if you don't see Miami, when Rick Ross is like stunned, like again, like certain music, like I'm at the beach immediately, or at least like Ocean Drive, or like there's a Lamborghini in sight, like I would say, like if you own an Aston Martin, like in real life, if you've never played Aston Martin music in that car and driven to it, what the fuck are you doing, and why'd you do it for? And fuck you also.
You wasted your life.
All of it. Everything you've done at this point, garbage. Because you wasted
it all.
You wasted the. That's why I was so like, if just for a second, if Donald Trump, when he had got coronavirus, if he would release an Instagram or a Twitter of just him in bed playing Mini Men by 50 Cent, I don't know if you know it, but. Many men, wish death upon me, other minds and I can't see. If he would have been in the hospital, I would have voted for him. Like, this is what hip hop is for. The gangsters, son. If the gangsters aren't listening to it, what's the point? Yeah. Like that was he would have. I swear to God, that would have been a clean sweep. It would have been Biden. Who? Dude, I would have been all in, dude. Like, I swear to God. I would have had a hat the next day.
Sometimes,
I was like, you cannot do this better.
The moral of the story is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't have to do as much as you think.
Just gotta do it right. Bro. Just gotta do it right. That's actually good.
Oh shit! God's plan, y'all.
God's plan. So yeah, this has been another episode. Next week we'll get some more cool shit.
Yeah, we coming back for y'all. We on schedule now.
Yeah, we back.
Yeah.
Show. I'd like to thank Ben for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,